Welcome back to the session. We are studying Module 1 in Elements of Mechanical Engineering. So far we have covered sources of energy, basic concepts of thermodynamics, and now we are studying about the steam. In the steam we have already covered formation of steam in the previous session. Now we will study the properties of steam in this session. So just recall what we have studied in the formation of steam. These are the different stages of steam formation. And these stages are represented with the help of the temperature enthalpy diagram. These are expressed in terms of temperature versus enthalpy during the steam formation. So these things we have already discussed in the previous session. Now we will move on to the next the topic, that is about the different states of steam. So the steam, when it is formed, it is initially it is a wet steam. That means it is consisting of liquid and vapor, the mixture of liquid and vapor. So that is called as a wet steam. So it can be defined as the two-phase mixture containing saturated liquid and vapor at the saturation temperature. So that is shown with the help of the temperature enthalpy diagram in this from B to C. From B to C, here that is nothing but the liquid plus vapor mixture. So from B to C, any point if you take, there we will get the mixture of water in the form of liquid and some amount of that water it is converted into vapor. So that mixture we get. So that is called as a wet steam. And the other state of a steam is dry steam. Here we call this as a dry saturated steam. So that means if you refer this TH diagram, the point C, it lies on the saturation temperature. So that means that when the heat is added to the water and it starts converting into steam at point C, there is no liquid part remaining. All that liquid water, it is just converted into vapor. That is, it is converted into gaseous form or steam. So that state at C, it is called as dry steam or dry saturated steam. So that is nothing but it is defined as steam existing in complete vapor form at saturation temperature. So that's why it is called dry saturated steam. And then from the point C, when the heating is continued, the steam is going to be superheated. That means the steam which is converted into superheated steam. So in this TH diagram, the line CD, so that is it is a superheating stage. So that the steam at any point between C and D we take, so that is called as a superheated steam. So that can be defined as steam heated beyond its dry saturated state to a higher temperature than the saturation temperature. So from point C, whatever the amount of heat added, so that is going to rise its temperature. Okay, so that is reach it to a saturated state. From the saturated state it is reaching to a superheated state. So these are the three main states of the steam: wet steam, dry saturated steam, and superheated steam. Then we'll study the properties of steam. In that, the first one is dryness fraction. Dryness fraction, it is also called as quality of the steam. It is usually expressed by the letter X. So it is the ratio of mass of dry steam present in a wet steam to the total mass of the wet steam. So if we take the mass of the dry steam as mg, m suffix g, mass of the dry steam m suffix g, and mass of the wet steam, that means when it is consisting of two mixtures, that is liquid and vapor, so that is taken as mf plus mg. So then the dryness fraction is given by X is equal to mg divided by mf plus mg. So mf plus mg is mass of wet steam, mg is mass of the dry steam. Here usually the value of X is between 0 and 1. So when X is 0 means it is completely the water is in a liquid condition at the saturation temperature. It is in a liquid condition. When X is equal to 1, that means there is no liquid part. All the water it is converted into vapor. When X is equal to 1 means it is a dry saturated steam. So then the same thing, if we take the volume, the total volume V, it is given by V is equal to Vf plus Vg. Then we continue with the other steam properties. Then the next thing we must study is sensible heat of water. So sensible heat of water, it is defined as the amount of heat absorbed by 1 kg of water when it is heated at constant pressure from 0 degree Celsius to a saturation temperature. So that is called as a sensible heat. So that means if you see the TH diagram, here from A to B, so water is heated from 0 degree Celsius to point B, that is the saturation temperature under that pressure, so that is Ts. So that whatever the heat which is added from A to B, that is called as sensible heat. So can also refer this same temperature versus energy or temperature and enthalpy diagram from this figure, from the initial point at 0, 0 to the boiling point or nothing but saturation point, that water heating which is done. So whatever the heat added to water, that is called as sensible heat. Then the next property, it is latent heat of vaporization. So the latent heat of vaporization it is nothing but the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at the saturation temperature Ts to 1 kg of dry saturated steam at the same temperature, that is at the saturation temperature Ts, and at a given pressure. So this is given by HFG. So that HFG is equal to Hg minus Hf. So here in the TH diagram, from point B to point C, so whatever the heat which is added to the water, so that is converting the water to vapor, that is steam. So whatever the heat which is added to cause this phase change from liquid to vapor, so how much amount of heat which is added, that is called as latent heat of evaporation or latent heat of vaporization. So that is given by the letter notation HFG. So HF is for sensible heat, HFG is for latent heat. So here when the water is heated from initial 0 degree, so when it reaches the saturation temperature, up to that the temperature starts increasing, so it absorbs that sensible heat, and after the saturation temperature is reached, further heating of the water will not cause the temperature to increase. The temperature will not increase, but whatever the heat which is added, that is causing the phase change of water from liquid to vapor. So this vapor change, whatever the heat which is added, that is called as latent heat of evaporation or latent heat of vaporization. So from point B to C, whatever the heat which is added, then whatever the heat that is added, it is called as latent heat of vaporization or evaporation. And then the term enthalpy, it is defined as the amount of heat absorbed by water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation point, plus the heat absorbed during the evaporation, that is nothing but the latent heat. So that means it is nothing but the enthalpy means here enthalpy of the steam, enthalpy of the dry steam. It is actually the enthalpy of the dry steam. It is the amount of heat absorbed by water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation point, plus the heat absorbed during the evaporation. So that is nothing but enthalpy of dry steam. Enthalpy of dry steam is equal to sensible heat plus latent heat. So that is nothing but HF plus HFG. So that means at the point C, what is the enthalpy? What is the enthalpy of the steam? That is nothing but what is the enthalpy of the dry saturated steam. So that is nothing but we get from this TH diagram, it is nothing but HF plus HFG, that is sensible heat plus latent heat. Then we will continue with the other properties. Then for the enthalpy, if we take for the wet steam, so wet steam, the enthalpy is given by H is equal to HF plus X into HFG. That means suppose if we take any point in between B and C, any point between the line B and C, at any point, what is the enthalpy? That means what is the enthalpy of that wet steam? So that is nothing but HF is nothing but a sensible heat plus some fraction of latent heat. Some fraction of latent heat it is given by x into HFG, where x is the dryness fraction. Then for the dry steam, enthalpy of the dry steam is given by, that means at the point C, H is equal to Hg. Hg nothing but enthalpy of dry steam, that is nothing but Hf plus Hfg, as I explained already. So here x is equal to 1, so Hf plus Hfg, so here x will be 1 for the dry steam x is equal to 1, that is dryness fraction is 1 for dry steam. Then for the superheated steam, from the definition of the superheated steam, it is defined as the enthalpy of the superheated steam, that is H superheated is equal to that total heat for the dry steam, total heat for the dry steam, that is nothing but Hg. Okay, that is nothing but Hg or nothing but Hf plus Hfg, we can say. First term, total heat for the dry steam, that is Hf plus Hfg, plus heat for superheated steam, it is given by the product of specific heat and change in temperature, that is Cp into bracket T superheat minus Ts. Actually that should be Ts, that is saturation. T instead of T, it should be Ts, that is saturation temperature. T superheat minus T saturation. So here in the previous the figures we have used the small letters for T, so here it is capital T. So both are meaning the same thing in this section. So small t or the capital T, it is nothing but the temperature here. Okay. So the enthalpy of superheated steam, it is given by H superheat is equal to Hf plus Hfg plus Cp into bracket T superheat minus T saturation, or H superheat, that is enthalpy of superheated steam, is also given by Hg plus Cp into bracket T superheat minus Ts. So this is about the enthalpy of the different types of steam. Then we'll continue with the other properties, that is specific volume. Here specific volume is the volume occupied by the unit mass of the steam at a given temperature and pressure. So nothing but it is the volume occupied by the unit mass of a substance. It is specific volume of any substance. Okay, it is volume occupied by the unit mass. Here the steam means what is the specific volume of the steam? Here it is the volume occupied by the unit mass of the steam. So it is usually expressed in terms of meter cube per kg. Meter cube is for volume, kg is for the mass. And similarly for the wet steam, that means whatever the specific volume for the wet steam, it is expressed by volume of, that is 1 kilogram of wet steam, that is the specific volume of wet steam. It is nothing but x into Vg. X is the dryness fraction and Vg is the volume of the dry saturated steam. So that means it is a fraction of that volume of specific volume of dry saturated steam. Then for the dry steam, what is the specific volume of the dry steam? It is given by V is equal to Vg. So that is the notation Vg for the specific volume of dry steam. It is the nothing but the volume per unit mass of the dry steam. Then for similarly for the superheated steam, according to Charles, when we apply, we get the specific volume of superheated steam. V superheat is equal to Vg into T superheat divided by T saturation. So these are the things which are concerned with the specific volume terms, and with this we will end the session. Thank you all.